Teach with confidence. Be confident and teach. There is nothing which cannot be done by human. Is there anything which cannot be done by human? You are a human, na? So what can't you do? You can do everything. Be affirmative, be positive, be energetic, be optimist. Then you can do it. Indians are the best. You know, east or west, Indians are the best. So I'm also one of them. Are you getting? That's why today I will teach you everything in English. It means I don't need knowledge. Is it any rocket science? Nothing else. Only this is a communication which you can also learn. Guys, Jai Hind. Guys, today's video is going to be very beneficial for those who want to teach English in English and who want to learn English in English, because in this video I will tell you how to teach and learn present indefinite tense in English. In this video I will teach you present indefinite tense in English. If you are an English teacher and if you want to teach English in English, then this video is only for you. And if you are an English learner, if you want to learn English and you want to learn through English, then this video is for you also. Then whoever want to learn and teach English in English, then please stay tuned in this video. You know, but I will use very simple English. You don't need to worry. Don't go anywhere. Whatever I will teach you today, guys, I will teach you in an easy language. Don't worry, I will not use difficult words meanings in my teaching. Okay guys, please stay tuned till the end. So today we will talk about present indefinite tense. What we will talk? Present indefinite tense. First of all, I want to tell you why and when to use. When we talk about present indefinite tense, so you know, whatever we do, whenever we do, so we must have a reason. I want to tell you why to use present indefinite tense and when to use present indefinite tense. First of all, I will tell you this. Look at permanent work. We use present indefinite tense when we do permanent work or routine work. You know, as example I am telling you, we wake up every day or not. You and I, we both wake up every day. So isn't it permanent work? You and I both wake up every day, so it is a permanent work. You and I, we both eat every day, so it is also permanent work or routine work. Are you getting? So first thing is that why and when use present indefinite tense. So present indefinite tense is used for permanent work and routine work. One more thing, it is also used for universal truth. Whenever we get any universal truth, then we express that sentence in present indefinite tense. Example, look at, I am telling you, the sun rises in the east. The sun rises in the east. So isn't it a universal truth? It is a universal truth. So first of all, keep in your mind three things. Why and when to use. Why and when to use present indefinite tense for these three things. Now, I will tell you how to use. You know, whenever we do any task, whenever we do any task, we focus two things. Why? Why to do? First question is there. Why to do? Then I explain you why and when. Why and when to use. Now I will tell you how to use. You know why and when to do and how to do. These are the questions. Two questions which we think consciously. Now I tell you how to use present indefinite tense. How to use present definite tense? So present definite tense. Look at, before telling you how to use, I want to tell you some letter. I have written here S, you know, S, and I have also written V, S, V and O. I want to tell you what do you mean by S, what do you mean by V, and what do you mean by O. So look at, S stands for subject. S stands for subject. It means doer. V stands for verb. And O stands for object. These are the basic things which when you will explain to your student, remember all these things. You should also teach your student S for subject, V for verb, O for object. These are the some basic concepts. Look at. Now, how to use present definite tense? So present, I have divided present indefinite tense in 4 categories. I have divided present indefinite tense how to use in 4 categories. First of all, simple. First of all, we use present definite tense in a simple sentence. In a simple sentence. So whenever we create simple sentence, so what is the structure? First of all, we keep subject, then verb, then object. First of all, we keep subject, then verb, then object in a simple sentence of present indefinite. Look at example. For example, I am writing I go to temple. Look at it. I have written here I go to temple. So what is I here? I is a subject. I is a subject, isn't it? I is a subject. Go is a verb. Go is a verb. V for verb, S for subject. And what is object? Temple is an object. Temple is an object. So according to structure, I made this sentence, didn't I? How I made this sentence? I made a simple sentence. I go to temple. Are you getting? I is considered plural subject. In present indefinite, you need to remember I is considered what? A plural subject. So with plural subject, we don't use S and ES. With plural subjects, we don't use S and ES. With plural subject, we use only the basic verb. Like go is a basic verb, isn't it? With singular subject, we use S and ES with verb. Look at. I am telling you another example. She goes to temple. Look at here. Look at. Now, here I go to temple. I is considered plural subjects. That's why I did not use S or ES in the verb. But here, what I have kept ES. Why I have kept ES? Because she is a singular subject. So with singular subject, what we apply? We apply S or ES. And you learn and teach in an easy way. Like at this time I am teaching to you. So are you getting any difficulty? So please write in comment box. I am trying to teach you in a simple way. I am also speaking English now. I am not speaking French or Russian language. I am speaking English, but what and how I'm using. I'm using in a simple way. So when you teach your student, remember, don't teach in a difficult way. Teach them in an easy way, and understand, they will also understand in an easy way. So what I'm telling, so yeah, here she is a subject, go is a verb, and temple is an object. Okay, so I hope you must have understood what is the difference between singular and plural subject. With singular subject we use s and es. I will tell you later in detail. Don't worry, what is the concept of s and es, I will tell you later. But basically I am telling you, with singular subject we use s and es, and with plural subject we don't use s and es in verb. So it was the first category, which is called simple sentence. In this way you can make a lot of sentences. Don't make only 1 and 2 sentences. You need to make thousands of sentences if you want to clarity in anything. You know how we get clarity in anything? When we practice more than more. Look at, suppose I want to tell you, so you know what I am using, present indefinite tense. I want to tell you, so it is also present indefinite tense. You want to learn English, so it is also present indefinite tense and simple structure. Are you getting? Like she comes to coaching. If I tell you she comes to coaching, so she comes to coaching is a present indefinite tense. And what is simple sentence? Affirmative. Simple is also known as an affirmative sentence. So make thousands of sentences of simple, because as I told you, our daily routine words you can express in present indefinite tense. From morning to night you can use them. You can use how? You can say I wake up in the morning. You can use, look at, I wake up in the morning, and I thank to God. What I am using? Present definite tense. And I come to my coaching. And I teach my students. And I go to my school for teaching. And I teach my students in school. I return my home. I subject, return verb, object my home. I return my home. I talk to my mom. I relax for some time. I watch some spiritual program. I watch some spiritual program. I again come to my coaching. I teach to my student. So whatever I have spoken here, you know what I use? Simple tense. Present indefinite simple tense. Are you getting? Now let's talk about negative. First condition is this: we use present definite tense in affirmative sentence. Now I am telling you negative sentence. In negative, we apply first of all subject, then do. Do is a helping verb, and does is also a helping verb. Do is used with plural subject, and does is used with what? Singular subject. Okay. And whenever we don't do anything, like when we show negation, when we show any negative task, then we use negative structure. Look at, if I tell you my routine work or permanent work, so I will tell you I do not abuse to anyone. Look at, having written, I am telling you I do not abuse to anyone. I do not abuse to anyone. Then what is I here? I is a subject, isn't it? I is a subject. Do not is a helping verb. It means HV. Helping verb means HV. And abuse is a verb. And to anyone is an object. So subject, then do not, verb, then object. Look at subject, do not. I is considered plural subject. I is considered plural subject. So with plural subject, what we use? Do not. Are you getting? So in this way, you can explain to a student, and you can also learn. If you learn anything in Hindi, so you will be strong in Hindi. That's why my motive is to teach in English. Why I am teaching you in English this? Because in Hindi present definite tense, you can find a lot of channel. You can find out a lot of channel of Hindi who teach in Hindi. I don't criticize them. They are also good. But if you want to get good command over English, then you should listen English, and you should also learn in English, and you should also teach in English. What we do, that we learn, isn't it? So what I'm doing, I'm using English here from which you could learn. Okay, so I do not abuse to anyone. So it's my word. It's my permanent verb. I never abuse. So I am expressing my ideas in present indefinite tense because it's my permanent verb. And so many sentences can be made. In negation also, you can also make so many sentences. Look at. Like we will use singular subject, like she does not. She does not tell a lie. She does not tell a lie. It means she is a singular subject. So with singular subject, what helping verb we use? Does. That's why I tell you what, she does not tell a lie. Don't make only one and two sentences. Make a lot of sentences like Mohan does not live in city. Mohan does not live in city. I am making negative sentences. Shri Ramji does not disobey his parents. Shri Ramji does not disobey his parents. Many, like Sita ji does not express wrong ideas. Sita ji does not express wrong ideas. Mohan does not play tabla. Mohan does not play tabla. Ram does not have Shri Ramji does not have any demerits. Shri Ramji does not have any demerits. Ramanji does not listen to Ramji. Are you getting? Modi ji does not criticize to any caste. Modi ji does not tell anything wrong. So what I am making here? I am making sentences in English with the help of negative structure. So think and make. Think and make. So these were the two concepts which you can understand in English, and you can also explain in English. Now let's move on. Third condition. It is called interrogative. What it is called? Interrogative. So in interrogative sentence, first of all we apply helping verb. In interrogative sentences, first of all we apply helping verb, then subject, then verb, then object. Let's have an example. Look at. Do you want to speak English? What I have written here? Do you want to speak English? So what is do here? Do is a helping verb, or do is an auxiliary verb. Okay, then you is a subject. This is helping verb which I have applied first of all. Do you and want and speak both are verb. It is helping verb or auxiliary verb. It is subject, and want and speak verb. Both are verb. And English is an object. So first of all, in interrogative sentence, what we apply, first of all we apply helping verb, then subject, then verb, whatever and how many verbs we have, we apply after the subject, then an object. So do you want to speak in English? So interrogative sentences are used for asking question. If you want to learn any tense, so why do you want to learn any tense? For English communication, na, you want to speak in English, you want to communicate in English, that's why you want to learn English. So how to communicate? By asking and by answering, isn't it? So suppose I want to ask you a question, do you want to speak English? So this is an interrogative sentence, and how will you answer? Yes sir, I want to speak in English. You can answer in a simple sentence. You can answer in a simple structure and ask question in interrogative structure. Isn't it simple? It is a simple task. Okay, many questions you can frame. You can frame so many of questions. How many of you want, you can create. Okay, suppose you want to ask any question to anyone, like, do you eat non-veg? Suppose you will ask me, sir, do you eat non-veg? So it is a question. I will ask you in negative sentence now. If my answer is negative, so I will answer you in negative or not. I do not eat non-veg. What I will tell you? I do then not eat non-veg. Now let's talk about condition number 4. It was the first condition and it was the second and third. Now we will talk about condition number 4. Double interrogative. What it is called? Double interrogative. So double interrogative sentence is started with WH word. You know WH word. WH words are those words which start from W or H. Like, you know, what, how, when, what are these? These are WH word. Like what starts from what? W. H starts from how. When starts from when? W. So aren't they? So these are WH. So when we make any sentence in double interrogative, so first of all we keep WH word. Like what? Like what do you want? What do you want? So it is also used for asking question. This structure is also used for asking question. What do you want? When we use this structure, when we ask open-ended question, then we use WH word. Are you getting? And when we ask closed-ended question, then we use interrogative, only simple interrogative. Simple interrogative is used for asking closed-ended question, and the double interrogative is asked for what? Open-ended question. So what do you want? Okay, like how do you feel? How do you feel? When do you wake up? Okay, so these are some questions which are framed in double interrogative sentences. You, what is you here? You is a plural subject. So with plural subject we apply do in all three sentences. In all three sentences, what I have applied? Do. Why? Because you is a plural subject. In this way, can you teach or not? So try to teach in this way to your students, and I hope you must succeed in your attempt. So in this way you can explain your students, and if you are a student, so in this way you can also learn. So did I use even a single word of Hindi in my teaching? So you can also teach similarly. Okay, so for teaching there must be confidence and willpower and your firm determination. So what I explained you here, I have explained you present definite tense in English. Some exceptional cases are also there in present definite. Some exceptional cases are also there, but if you like this video, so do comment in comment box and make some sentences and put in comment box from which I can see. And if you are teacher, so please do comment. I am also teacher. I am not better than you. I am not telling I am better than you. You must be better than I. What I have done here, I have done an attempt only. So if you liked my attempt, so do write in comment box, sir, you are teaching well, so you should be continue, from which I can get some courage. I know I'm at this time I'm also having courage, but with your comment I will get more courageable, and I will try to make many more videos like this. Because why I'm making video here? For you only. And if you will not respond, so how can I understand that students are understanding and the teachers are understanding? Okay, so guys, do well, have well. It is a universal truth. Do well and have well. So I am now wrapping the class, and please do comment. And one more thing, if you are not commenting anything, if you are not writing anything in comment box, so only write Har Har Maha